What is going on, everybody? Cam K here with you tonight, Monday night, already December 8th. Only a couple more weeks of 2025, and then we're getting ready for 2026. I want to thank you all for joining me tonight here on ONTrack Weekly, here on G-Force TV. Got a great show for you. Lots of amazing guests covering all over Ontario tonight. We tried to get a couple others, and lots of people are busy this time of the year. So I want to thank all of our guests that did make time tonight to make it on the show. We really are appreciative. We've got Steve McCaw coming on the show. It's been a while since we had Steve on the show. We'll chat with him about the modified division, where she participated in this year, the Epic Racewear. Modified division out at Delaware Speedway. Almost won the championship. Second place by just 9 points over Marshall Schrank in his debut in the modified divisions. And then Oscar, he participated as well in their races at Delaware Speedway. Kyle Johnson from the Peterborough Speedway Bone Stock division. We'll chat with him. His season kind of ended a little prematurely last year, and he wasn't able to finish off the year. So we'll chat with him about what's going on in the off season for him, how things are looking in 2026. APC's Kendra Adams will join us. Again, she's making history once again, being back there as only the second female to be in the APC series, and she had a solid year in her first full season participating in the late models, and we'll see if she's going to be rejoining the late model tour in 2026. And Ray Smyer ended his season off with the Pumpkin Smasher victory out at Delaware Speedway, and so we'll chat with him and see how things are going with the number 93 racer. Ollie Ferguson got to do his best Dale Earnhardt impression at the Autumn Colors Classic with a beautiful looking tribute ride. He's been busy this off season. They've been doing lots of giveaways with Ollie Strong Racing, and we'll look towards what his plans are for 2026. I know he's always got something going on. And then Ontario Legend Cars, the man in charge, Robin Yongen, will join us at 9:20 tonight, and we'll chat with him about all the happenings for the Ontario Legend Cars. Maybe we'll get a little bit of some news from him. I know he was teasing a little bit on social media. We'll see if we get a little bit of knowledge about the schedule, maybe some rule changes, maybe something interesting that's happening with the series this year. I don't have any insider knowledge, so I'm always one that would love to get some sort of updates as to what's going to happen. Thanks, Ben. I'm doing great. We're doing good for a really cold night in the city. We don't typically get as cold as you guys do up north and south and anywhere but the city. Frankly, we typically keep it a little bit warm here, but it is chilly tonight. So, repping Cameron McGlashan and our Image Wraps friends tonight. I want to thank you guys again for tuning in tonight. Make sure you share the stream. That helps us get noticed and get seen. Of course, we are under 100 subscribers away from 21,000 here on the channel. But somebody we're going to bring on to start the show tonight is the guy who is responsible for a lot that you see from Ray Cullen Chevrolet. Of course, he's part of the commercials that you see weekly on the Delaware Speedway broadcast on Rogers Television. And of course, he's also one of the competitors that we get to see out on the track in the beautiful number 4 modified. And it's been a while since I've got to chat with him, so I'm excited to hear from him. Steve McCaw, back from vacation. Steve, how are you doing tonight?
Good, Cam. How are you?
Oh, you know what, bud? It's no racing is a little tough. It's luckily we got the snowball on today, and I mean that ended a little interesting. But
Definitely.
racing is like that. How is everything going for you this year, my friend? We saw you a little bit different of a car that you were driving this year.
Yeah, we went to the modified edition or modified division this year. I live 5 minutes from Delaware Speedway, so the traveling was a lot with the hot rod. We were gonna do and kind of keep both, but they announced a 5 race series at Delaware plus the 2 Oscar races. So in my world with business, it's busy. I don't really have the time to do all the travel. I try, but so the 7 races 5 minutes from my house just worked out really, really well. I wish the schedule was put together a little bit better. There was 5 races at the end of August to September.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit chaotic and hectic, and two races earlier in the season, which took a lot of getting used to, or it made it really difficult to get the car better because we were rookies. We had kind of just, I don't want to say built the car because we bought a chassis, but we completely redid it. The car was at Jamie Cox's house for like 2.5 months, so he did a lot of work on it, and then a lot of the other guys helping me out and stuff. So when we first went, we were a little bit tough. It didn't run as good as we had hoped. I was really not up to speed in the car yet, but by the end of the year, we kind of got it. We had got it figured out pretty good. So
I was going to say you ended up being 9 points away from potentially winning the championship with Marshall Schrank. It really did come down to that last race, and you know what? You guys were right there. What do you need to just be a little bit closer to where you want to be?
motor,
Oh
we
yeah, eh?
yeah,
Motor.
motor. We ran the motor out of my hot rod
Hmm.
at the start of the year, and we were just getting it handed to us.
Really,
So
eh?
yeah, so I was talking to Mike McCall, and he says, "What do you think about trying a 604?" So I tried a 604 in it that you get the small clutch. So I thought it might have been a really good fit. Wally Wilson runs a 602, and I thought, we can try with the 604. It's not enough.
Okay.
The built motors that are in the class, and most of the guys run builts. Like let's face it, the
Yeah.
the crate program isn't what it used to be. It's not as good as it was designed to be. I don't want to speak for GM. I'm a GM dealer, but I don't want to speak for GM. But I don't know how much they care about the program anymore. I think it's profitable, so they just kind of go with it. But it certainly is not what it was designed to be. The motors are super expensive. Built is just the way to go anymore, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Again, people that have crates don't feel that way, well, I shouldn't say that. People that have crates that don't have problems don't feel that way. The ones that do obviously do. So it's a program that needs some work. And again, most of the guys run builts. So when you look at that, it's a class where built is king. But these guys have all ran these cars forever. We're just
Yeah.
walking in this year and trying to, one, get me up to speed, two, get an older car up to speed, and then three, try to do that with our motor out of our hot rod. So, we had some challenges, but we got better. At the end of the year, it was very, very clear that we needed motor.
I mean, still with the fact that you said you need a motor, you're still pretty competitive this year in the tight field that it was. And so obviously, I think we can say for a first kind of season, it was an experiment for Delaware Speedway to kind of bring back the modifieds. And I think they did okay. Obviously, they'd love to have a couple more cars out there, and Oscar I think is also working to rebuild themselves because I think it's pretty clear that the modified division had a bit of a stunt, and now it's starting to kind of get back to where it needs to be. But in terms of your drivability, Steve, compared to a hot rod, is it more wheel that you're putting in with a modified less wheel? Like, how is your driving style adapted to this different type of vehicle? Is it any different at all?
Yeah, it's different for sure.
Yeah,
You're really close to the ground. You're an inch and a half off the ground before you have travel. The cars are you're far left. The wheels are way over to the right. Um, the weight it's substantially less weight. So the cars, they take off better, they stop better, they turn better, they rotate better. But you also have to build turn into them because they want to push. They want to push the nose really bad. So it took us a while to get used to that. I have a right rear spring in it that I never thought would work, and that's what it took to get the car to turn. The downside to that is you give up forward drive. So I wasn't able to get the drive off the corner that I was accustomed to having up with the hot rod. So because I like a loose race car,
right.
wasn't really able to do that in the mod. At the end of the year, we got the car loose. Finally, we got the car loose. So something to work on this year. We know some things that we need to change to make our car better. Uh, so we've got some work to do, but we'll get better. And honestly, I'm racing against it, especially in Delaware, and not to say anything different about Oscar, because Oscar, they've got great guys that run in that too. But I'm racing against Jamie Cox, Marshall Schrenk, Brian Batty. Like these are guys that have done this for a long, long time, and they're all really good at it,
Yeah.
right? So, we had a really big learning curve, but man, we had a blast. Like
Yeah.
and some of the best racers that you'll ever come across. Like Marshall Schrenk is one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Dale Reinhardt, Jamie Cox, obviously, those guys. They're all just top shelf, right?
I think that the modified program is something that people are missing out on. Honestly, it's one of those divisions. I talk with. I mean, Wally's the champion for it. Like he'll talk your ear off about modifieds, and that's exactly why I love it too. Is because the racing is just it's so much fun. You guys look like you're having fun out there. Obviously, a little bit more motor would definitely help. That's
It makes
always
it
the
more
cons.
fun.
It makes it more fun, yeah, when you go out there and winning. Rick Gertz says, "Hope you enjoyed Cabo. I know I did. Nice meeting you there." So that's a great story right there.
Yes, yeah. Actually, that we were in Los Cabos in Mexico, and actually he walked up and introduced himself, and it was like had a great conversation with him. But yeah, really nice guy. So
It's funny how in racing you book vacations at the same
yeah,
time. Crazy
exactly.
how
Well,
that happens.
I was there on a work trip, so we were on a 5 day trip, and his original plans were to go to Jamaica, if I remember correctly, but because of the storms there, he had to transition, moved over to Los Cabos, and we actually ran into him there. It was kind of cool.
It works out that way. I love the little stories like that in racing. What's your plans for this year, Steve? You're gonna still be back in the Delaware, or do you know 100% yet where you're gonna potentially be?
We're going to the Oscar meeting on the weekend to find out.
Okay.
Delaware has not released their schedule yet, so
Yeah.
that's I kind of wish it was out. It's like the last straggler kind of thing, because a lot of them are already out. So we're trying to figure out what it is that we're going to do. I definitely will run a few of the Oscar races. I don't know how many at this point. I want to try to support the series the best that I can. But again, a lot of that has to do with work and schedules and stuff. And I'd like to see the Delaware schedule because I'm hoping that they're going to spread it out a little bit further through the season. If they only want to have 5 races, which I get, like we're building this class, so I totally
Yeah.
understand. Have one a month, not
Yeah.
you're not 5 in a month, and so type thing. So hopefully that's what we're able to do this year, and then we'll try to support both series as the best we can.
I'll tell you right now, I'm all for seeing Steve McCall on the Oscar Modified Tour. That's going to be a lot of fun, and you know what? I'm always glad that I get the opportunity to chat with you, Steve. It's we don't get to see each other enough. We saw each other a lot. I think last year or not last season, the season before, but
Yeah.
glad to see you back out there. And like I said, 9 points away from potentially taking that championship with not enough motor. I think that's pretty good for you.
Yeah, I think we did I think the guys did a really good job. We come together on our own. We did well. Now keep in mind Marshall lost some points in a points penalty, but I say on the same token, so did I. I got DQ'd in a heat race, so I lost points in a heat race as well. Not as many as him, but we don't need to tell anybody that.
Nope.
We'll just say it was really, really close.
I'm hoping that we'll see a Steve McCall Marshall Shrink battle again next year. I think that would be awesome for the fans out at there, and hopefully Epic Raceware does come back for the Epic Raceware modified division. So let's get that schedule out, Delaware. We want to figure out where people are going to be racing because I'm telling you we're getting antsy over here. But Steve, I want to thank you for coming on and joining me. You know what? And it's always a blast to chat with you. And have yourself a great holiday, and we'll chat to you with you in the new year.
Thanks, Cam. You too, and hope all the fans and everybody watching has a happy holidays too.
That's excellent stuff. We want to say, there you go, Jenny Hatch. Speaking of great guys, there we go. Jenny Hatch
Well,
always got to give the positive, which I love. So
yeah.
definitely, thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Cam.
All right, so our friend Steve McCaw, we'll be waiting here. Kyle Johnson's going to join us. Hopefully, I'm going to see if he's got it figured out. Uh, so far I don't have him in there, so we'll see if Kyle is going to be able to join us or not. He's scheduled for 8:40. But yeah, it was nice to talk with Steve. I don't get the opportunity to see. He's Delaware bound, and I don't. We were making more Peterborough slash um uh Sunset last year for me, so only got down there and never got to actually see the modifieds run. So unfortunately, That was a downside to it. But we'll bring on Kyle Johnson from Peterborough Speedway. Hopefully this is him because it does just say iPhone, and that always makes it difficult because I picked somebody last week that said iPhone and it wasn't actually who was supposed to be up next. So it's either Kyle Johnson or it's Kendra Adams. So we'll start and see who we've got here, and it is Kyle Johnson who made it here on Zoom. How we doing, Kyle, buddy?
I'm good. I'm good.
It's been a while since I seen you
Yeah.
last.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how was last year for you, bud?
It was good.
Yeah.
It started off good and then it ended bad. So
Yeah, we never actually got to talk. What was it that took you out at the end of the year?
I broke 2 CV axles on the driver's side.
On purpose or what?
No.
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 Yeah. So for those that don't know, Kyle, how'd you get started in racing?
I used to go to track. I used
Yeah.
to go to Peterborough back in 2019 as a fan.
And you
got
said,
to
I
know-
want to do this?
Yeah. Got to know people and then it went from there. They helped me get a car and bought my first car.
Was it somebody else's that used to run at the track?
No, I bought it from Carly Willman.
Oh, okay.
Cavalier, yes. Through connections.
Well, it worked out for you because you got a car out there, and it doesn't do too shabby for you. You had some pretty decent runs before the trouble happened. Would you say last year went better for you than the previous?
Yes, it did. Yeah.
And that's what we want to see from you out there, and you didn't get the finish of the year that you wanted, but you definitely started out quite strong and quite fast. Especially the heat races. That's what I felt like that you.
Me and Alex battling out there in both heats. So
yeah, it's exactly what we want to see, right? What happened with to make that the contact to break the axles? Do you remember what happened?
I got spun out in a heat race, and then that's when it just gave out after. Actually, it gave out in the feature. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Feature, yeah. It gave
and
out
how many races were left before that happened? Like, because you didn't finish the season, right?
No, I did not finish the season. No. Only got a few races in and then fixed it and then broke it again.
So is it going to be okay for next year then?
Yes, it's getting worked on right now.
Yeah,
getting some stuff fixed and hopefully be back out soon for next year.
Well, hopefully Cameron Thompson says I better be seeing you out there against you next year. So, I mean, it sounds like you guys are going to have again a changing field in the bone stocks, like guys moving out and new guys coming in. I mean, you're planning on obviously being in the bone stocks for a while, though, right?
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, it's one of those things, right? It's a starter division. You started as a fan and just got into this deal 1 year. And now you've been in it for what, 5 years now?
Yeah,
well,
5.
I guess you take out COVID. Right?
COVID doesn't really count.
Yeah, so in there for 5 years. But in your opinion, how's your field looking? Has it been stronger? Is it harder? Is it easier?
It's stronger now with the amount of cars we had this at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like that's what we're looking at again this year. I mean, based off of my early counts, mini stock and bone stock potentially are going to be stronger again.
And then we might have more, maybe from Sunset. Maybe it depends on his.
Potentially that way, yeah. I mean, that's the big question is like what's going to happen with that field there, and you're also the first Olympian I've had on the show before. For those that don't know, what's your story with the Olympics?
I've been part of it for I think 6-7 years now. So we just transitioned from ringette to floorball now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay, so floorball. So that's but how many Olympic medals do you have now?
I have 3 gold and a silver. So
I mean, it's one thing that you can say that many other racers do not have is Olympic medals.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of those things that you should bring that out for fan appreciation. Like
I'm gonna try this year. We'll see.
Just as long as nobody's taking them, right? Like that's the one thing we don't want. You don't want. How'd you get the O2 number? Where'd you pick that from?
Jersey number was number 2, so I had that as a jersey number. So I just
And it
added
works
a
out.
0. So it's always been my number now.
Well, and that's the thing. I'm excited, man, because you didn't get to end the season, and that's the worst part about it, is that you had a strong start, and then mechanical stuff takes you out. We saw it last year. I mean, Tyler had one happen as well with the mini stock, right? He had a motor
Yeah.
issue, ended his
Yeah.
season. Luckily, Dylan was able to help him out. Cameron says, "I'm saying there's going to be a car count at Peterborough, same as Delaware, about 40 plus each Saturday. Who knows? It very well could be close to if everybody shows up from Sunset. I don't expect everybody is going to, but
No, no.
there is definitely going to be more than there has been, although there's a lot that are moving up as well. So,
Yeah, I know
well,
Christian moved up. I
yeah,
know Christian.
yeah, yeah, he's
Christian.
one of them at least.
Corey moved up.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, that's
I
only 2
think
I know.
Wayne as well didn't really get many
Yeah,
starts, but
yeah,
he's going to be minis as well. So I mean, it's a good start. If you wanted to go to mini stock, could your car move
yeah.
to mini stock?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just add some more roll bars and just more just the rims and tires.
Well, you know what? I for one want to see a full season with you out there, bud, because it was fun. Would you be able to be up for traveling? Because I know you were
I'd
talking
love
about it
to if
last
I.
year.
Yeah, it comes down to funding. If I can get
Yeah.
the funding right.
Yeah. Are you guys set for the year? Are you able to be full season this year?
Hopefully, if the
Yeah.
car gets fixed and hopefully nothing else breaks before I gotta get out and practice with it, make sure it's all ready to go. And so,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully, I'm hopeful that that's going to happen for you,
yeah, I
Kyle,
haven't.
because
I got go karting too. I got an opportunity to go race karts too. So,
where is that going to be at?
I'll be traveling series
Oh yeah,
for that. So
where what traveling series is that?
it's the I don't know what to call it. It's based out of Mossport.
Oh, okay,
Under
okay,
that, it's under their thing. So it'd be traveling. So
not bad. Alex Delaire says he's looking forward to more battles in 2026. I tell you, you and him put on a couple of really good ones in the heats,
that are
and
two heats together.
well, that's the thing. You guys couldn't really fit a piece of paper between the two of you guys for a
No,
good chunk of them. But the one thing that I will say was clean, right? It was clean racing between you guys. It was tight, but
yeah.
it was good stuff, and that's what I'm hoping for. Me and Nick Adamson will be working on my bone stock when I come back from Alberta, and this will have my Cobalt out there. I thought you were Cameron. I thought you were racing at Delaware. I could have been wrong, but either way, Kyle, what would a successful season this year be? Obviously, we all know wins are one thing, but what's one thing that you're hoping to do this year?
I'd love to get some heat wins. Try to go for some heat wins and go from there.
I definitely see that being a possibility based off of how fast you were last year. So,
Yeah.
Kyle, I appreciate you, man. You came on, jumped on the show. We were looking for because we had a couple people that were not able to make it tonight. So, I really appreciate it, and best of luck
Yeah.
for this off season. Hopefully, get that car fixed, and
I'll
best of
see it
luck
at
in
Motorama.
the. Of
Motorama.
course, you'll see me at Motorama. Yeah, we'll be there, and we're gluttony for punishment, so we'll be there. But great holiday season for you, Kyle, and thank you
All
for
right. You too.
stopping in and chat with me.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
That is Kyle Johnson out from Peterborough Speedway in the bone stock division, and you know what? It was really nice to have him. I want to thank him for jumping up and being on the show, and it's always nice to be able to talk with people from across racing, and one of the people that I've wanted to talk to on this show for a while because you know she's going out there and setting some records and making some history, and you know I made sure that when we did the Ladies of the Oval article that we did look up the stats, and Kendra Adams is on the show, your APC lone female that ran full season this year. Wow, how does that feel, Kendra? You did the full season.
Yeah, it has been a great year for us and our team. And it was really something that I thought was unattainable. And we did it this year. And, finishing every race was our goal. And we were one of only 4 competitors that finished every single race on the tour. And that is like the stat I'm going to live and die by this year and what I'm most proud of for sure. So yeah, thank you so much for having me on. It's been a while.
Yeah, we tend to get a little busy around here, right? So it's you with Epic, and then you with your racing, and then vlogs. Someone Mike's keeps popping. I think we're okay now, Ty. Just let me know if it's still popping though. Um, but yeah, no. So let's start with kind of how the year went for you, Kendra, because it's a little bit different from running full time at Sunset. So for yourself, what grade would you give yourself for this year?
Oh my gosh, a grade. Well, I've always been not a great student, but even in this year, like I'd have to go C plus. Like I was there every
Okay.
class, but there's nothing too crazy to go as far as finishes go. But how I feel about the year, I'll say an A minus. I'm very happy with how the year went, and I'm realizing very humbly it's really easy to watch an APC race, and I'll admit it. I did it. I went, oh, I think I'm better than that person. I think I would, be competitive in this range. And then you get out there and you just genuinely have no idea how good these guys really are. So it was a great time, and I learned a lot, and it was a lot harder than I expected. When people said, APC is no joke with the competition, and it's no joke with how expensive it's going to be, but also, how great the series gives back. All of it was true.
Yeah, I think that might get underestimated sometimes about how good the competition is. I mean, you go out there and expect. I think you're not the only one that has thought that too. I think other people might go into it thinking, oh, and fans as well. Sadly, I don't think they
Yeah.
realize they go out there like some of these guys have been doing this for over 10 years, and they're not a slouch at all behind the wheel. Um, Physically demanding a little bit more than what you're used to as well, because now you did your first 300 lapper this year. So, I mean, that's a little bit different from what you're used to.
Yeah, that was definitely a intense race, for sure. But I'll be totally honest with you. Actually, the most physically demanding race that I had this year was the first. I think it was one of the Flambeau races. It might have actually been the second one. And
Really?
we struggled all year with a brake problem. And we changed our masters before that race, maybe thinking that would be it. And then unfortunately, I had a leak. So I actually had no brakes the whole time, and I was determined to finish the race. And it was just a very physically demanding race. I came over at lap 100 of the 300, lap 200 on the break. I'm like, I feel amazing, like the best I felt in the car. And then around like 60 to go, we had some, like, I was really struggling with the steering. Come to find out, one of our upper control arms was actually broken. So no wonder I was struggling. Had a couple Tylenol right after the race, and we're out in the campground celebrating a great season. So definitely different physically, but I always preach this to everybody. All of the men that I race with say absolutely I'm not doing that, but I practice hot yoga. So the hot races do not affect me. I'm very like thankful for that. It's been a great, thing to add in. But I know that there's a lot of people that we race against that are on like strict workout programs, and they're very physically fit. It is no joke. You do have to be like quite on top of the ball for these races.
It's one of those things that I think people that are getting into racing really underestimate, and I mean, we've seen it in bone stocks, we see it in mini stocks, all the way up through OSS, and into obviously the late models. Is the heat is not something to be messed with. That's actually a great tip, though. I've actually never heard of it of somebody doing hot yoga. I know of the benefits of it. Obviously, there's a ton of
Yeah.
benefits to it. Um, and that's actually something that I'm glad that you did touch on, because these races are not what you guys were doing. You were doing typically 25 to 50, maybe the odd 100 lapper. That adjustment from the sunset races to now doing APC, obviously you said you were adjusting to the heat very well, but what about the physicality of driving a car for a lot longer? Was that any difficulty, or was it just something that your adrenaline's pumping so you don't really feel it?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't feel a huge difference in that aspect. I felt my biggest difference going from Sunset, like personally, as a
Yeah.
driver at Sunset to the APC races, especially with the small crew that we have. Like it's usually myself, my dad, my one crew member, Paul, and then sometimes Cameron McGlashan on your shirt there
Nice.
will show up and support us in his off nights. And then, of course, we get help from some of the McCall guys and, of course, the Sheridan crew. But they're generally busy for the most part. And I find that the biggest drain on myself every Saturday at the track is mentally because it's seriously nonstop from the time that the gates open until qualifying. And then you maybe get 45 minutes to an hour between qualifying and the start of the race. And at that period, I'm like social battery on zero, mentally zero. You just have to like shut off for a second and prepare. That's what I found is the most difficult. You don't even get a second to like reflect on what has happened, and it's been so awesome and so emotional at the end of every race, coming together with our team and being like, wow, we did a new track today, or we didn't qualify last this week. Like I remember the first time that we didn't qualify last, because this was a huge learning year for us, and you don't really get to even feel that or take that in until the end of the night. And it's really great. It's such a family sport for us. Sorry, I'm kind of getting off track, but
All
it's such a
good.
family sport for us. So we camp every weekend. My parents tow their trailer and then I tow up the car, and it's been awesome every Sunday morning, Saturday night, getting to just relive what we did that day and just be excited for the fact we get to do this all together.
I love what you just said about how it is. It's about those experiences, and I can speak from learning and listening a lot of the racing community within the from the bone stocks all the way up to APC. That is being lost. A lot of people are taking this shit way, way, way too personally, and they're getting
Yeah.
themselves all riled up and getting all upset and being nasty and forgetting the whole part of what this is, and that is it is supposed to be about coming together and it's celebrating. Again, you may not have gotten that win on the track, but you have some wins that you can look forward to. Something. Now, because you're on this show and because I work for Ladies of the Oval, I definitely want to make sure that we cover a little bit about what Kendra's advice would be here. So, Kendra's obviously racing in the APC series. We didn't start there though. So,
Yeah.
I want to just kind of put that out there for the ladies because it is a little bit difficult to get to this point, and we've seen it. Um, so starting right from junior late models, there's a ton of girls that are in junior late models,
Absolutely.
which is fantastic. What we want to see. Actually, there's also a lot in micro sprints. I'm going to put that out there as well. Or Shriek Speedway, lots of girls in there. So for yourself, what's something that you would like to pass on as a piece of advice for the young girls that are racing, starting very, very young?
Yeah, and I didn't even start until I was 13. So a lot of these girls are starting even so much younger than me. And I think that there is something to be said about being a female in a male dominated sport. Some of my best friends are guys I grew up racing with, and I have such a unique relationship with the people in my life because I share something so special. I think
Yes.
racing is something so special with a lot of people, and if you get it, you get it, and if you don't, you don't. It's totally fine. But I want to just say to those girls, because I never thought I'd be in this position. I didn't think that I would be in anything but a mini stock, and then I was, and then I didn't think I'd be anything higher, and then I was, and then it just keeps going and going. And I think you really need to surround yourself with people in the industry that respect you, push you, and support you. Because without those people, you're absolutely going to struggle. And I think for the majority, most young drivers do have those people around you. I have been hearing just in general a lot of stuff on social media. I'll be honest, I don't actually use Facebook very often, so I do miss a lot of the stuff that happens in our community. But unfortunately, a lot of the times when I am online, I see stuff that I hate to hear, or people are struggling, or so and so said whatever. It took me until I was like 21, 22 years old, so almost 10 years of racing, to realize like you really just have to take a step back and be with the people who support you and just forget about everybody else, because the truth always comes out. and whatever people have to say about you, it usually doesn't matter. So it's definitely a really hard thing to do. And I wish that I got that grasp, because trust me, my mom told me stop worrying about what people think about you when I was 13. Um, but I wish that I could have taken that seriously sooner. And that goes for, of course, both young ladies and the young guys that are out there racing. But just stick with the people that support you.
Couldn't say it better myself. That was beautiful. Kendra Adams here on the show. Kendra, best for the holidays for you, Jake, and the entire family. Really thank you for coming on the show tonight and chatting with me. You're always welcome. So we'll chat with you in
Thank
the
you.
new year.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you so much. Happy holidays.
That's Kendra Adams from the APC series. She is a late model racer extraordinaire. Glad to see her getting to get that opportunity and get ladies up on the top step of the racing podium here. Being able to get out there is one thing, and from the APC series now to the bone stock division out of Delaware Speedway. I want to thank him for coming on and being a part of the show. He wasn't originally going to be part of the lineup, but you know what? We'll take people when they volunteer to come on the show. And Race Meyer is on the show tonight with me out of Delaware Speedway. And you know what? Race Meyer is coming off of his biggest victory, because I think it's his first victory, which is Pumpkin Smasher Gold. And not easy to do that race. So how does it feel now knowing that you have a win and you are in the history books?
Feels awesome, honestly. Being able to get that first one meant a lot, especially with the year that we've had at Delaware. It was meant a lot to my team and myself.
You know what? I'm going to say it kind of came out of nowhere, because you had those glimpses this year of being really strong and having those good finishes. I was up there a couple of races and seeing your hood flopping around up there after some contact. And it is probably the tightest field in bone stocks. It's the toughest field to go through. Is there relief now that it's done? You finally got it done?
Definitely. There was a lot, especially after that win, there was a lot of relief.
And I'm gonna just guess it's only been a couple of years that you've been in this division, correct?
Last year was my first year, or second year, sorry.
Second year. So, okay. So first off, I'm going to throw out an absolute, and this might be completely wrong, but I'm just seeing if I can put the two and two together. Now, I work closely a lot with the OSS, and there was a 93 for a driver named Jason Meyer, and no one could answer me if there was a relation between you and Jason. Am I correct at all? Is there some sort of relation?
Yeah, so that's my uncle, and
right on.
That's actually how we got the paint scheme for the bone stock car.
I
It was
knew it.
yeah.
Okay.
So
How did this
we
all
got
come
that
about,
car.
buddy?
Well, I mean, like, he's been racing for years, and we were able, when I was younger, like at the age of 4 years old, I started in a micro sprint.
Oh no shit, eh?
So yeah, so I worked my way up in the micro sprints, and we had to step away for a few years, and I think had to be 2023. We went out to Flamborough for the Halloween Enduro. We were able to get like just a donor ride basically, and took that out, and I think we made like 40 passes in 10 laps.
Holy
And
shit.
then and then the spindle broke on the car, so that was the end of that.
Typically how that would go, right?
Yeah, but that was enough to convince my dad that we should start getting back into the racing, and I figured why not go to Delaware? I mean, basically grew up there watching my uncle race and whatnot, so
Well,
we were able to.
I think that's an amazing story first on its own, that you really haven't been racing in this division that long. You took a break, and then I think you've got one of the best cars in the field, because if I'm not mistaken, is this the old Jay Cox car?
So it's actually an old Jay Cox backup car.
Oh, no way.
So yeah, so we didn't even know that actually. So we bought it off Jay and Jamie, of course, but we thought it was like the primary car. It turns out they had two. So I'm pretty sure, I'm not positive, but they still got the main car and we got stuck with the backup. But
I mean, it works pretty good for you.
Oh, absolutely. Our first race of our rookie season 2 years ago, we went out there and in our heat race, we finished second behind Justin Culver. So I was immediately happy with the car.
I mean, that's one of those things, man. You go from micro sprints to racing Delaware. That's not even close to the same type of track. So how was it
Not
getting
even.
out there and getting your first laps?
Well, we went out for practice, of course, and my biggest thing was like I just wanted to see how competitive I could be in the class.
Right.
And we're watching the timesheets, and I'd get out of the car, and that's the first thing I'd ask is like, what was my fastest lap? What was my fastest lap? And we were doing pretty good, so I was happy with it. They're completely different. Like they are
Yeah.
opposite. We're going from a go-kart on dirt to a full-size car on asphalt. It's way different.
What was more fun?
That's a really hard question.
Yeah, I know it is because you don't want to say the wrong thing. No, I'm joking in terms of it because they're totally different things. You can't really compare the two, right? One's
Yeah.
dirt and then one's pavement. But biggest thing you had to learn between dirt and pavement, what would you say it was?
Cornering, without a doubt.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've, from what I can remember, racing the dirt cars, you basically just throw it in there and do it slides, and you got to keep it off the wall, basically. But at Delaware, especially when you're racing around like 30 other cars, you really got to pay attention to where you are and where you're running and how you enter the corner, where you come off the corner, and it was a big learning curve, that's for sure.
Yeah, you can't really be sliding around at Delaware Speedway.
Yeah.
Do you have potential future plans, race? Do you want to go the OSS route like where your uncle raced, or go back to the dirt, mini stock, late model, APC? Like what's the future ideas?
So after this past, like last year, we started to work with Sterling Roberts quite a bit. So we were feeding off of each other and whatnot, and we actually had a huge problem with the Cobalt,
Mm-hmm.
and we gave it to him and one of his sponsors, and they were able to get it running and get us out there for the pumpkin smasher race. So, but yeah, we teamed up and we decided that we're gonna do something special this year. We haven't released what it is yet.
Ooh, okay.
And then we were also thinking like, how long are we gonna do this? Because last year we were saying we didn't want to join this series or group, whatever you want to call it, at all.
Yeah.
So now we're doing this, and we sat down one night and we went out, we had dinner, and kind of just got talking about it. And we also got talking about 2027 and like, do we have any real plans? And nothing's in stone yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get an OSS car eventually.
It better look the same. I want to see that same looking. That car was slick. I mean, I know it got killed at Flamborough, but
Yeah.
he doesn't have it anymore. Like I'm pretty sure that's things like toast, right?
It got parted out. I'm pretty sure the chassis was like,
Yeah.
I remember after that it was Monday, and I remember like clear as day, the front of that car was like up in the air a foot and twisted sideways like 2 feet, and like it was mangled.
Yep.
But
That wreck is actually on YouTube. Actually, I was able to find that race. So Power took video of it. So it's out there. But you know what, Race? I really enjoyed this conversation, and I hope we can have you. And yeah, Rob Ferguson says he's got a killer OSS car for sale. So if you're interested,
yeah,
there is a pretty good one right there. It's an old Cole Weber car. So
I was thinking about messaging him actually.
well, there you go.
It looks like a strong car.
Ollie's coming on right after. We'll talk about how great that car is. But I appreciate you coming on and chatting with me, Race. And you know what? Is there any better first name that you could have for being a race car driver? Is literally your name is Race.
They had a plan for me, that's for sure.
Well, I'm just saying, good. J.R. Fitzpatrick saying the Race boys are awesome. So I definitely say that if you can partner up with JR, maybe he'll get you some pointers for these OSS cars because we know he's pretty good at driving those too. So, but
Oh, I've known JR since I was like little before I was racing micro sprints even. So
so that means we got to get you and him racing together. That's what we need to see.
that is what we need to see. I
I
agree with that.
I appreciate you coming on and chat with me, Race. We're gonna have that DM a little bit later. I think we need to get you some stickers for SNS because
I
I've
think so
enjoyed this.
too.
I've enjoyed this conversation, my friend. We need more representation at Delaware Speedway. So thank you so much, my friend. Best for the holiday season, and thank you so much for coming on and helping me out in a bit of a pinch.
Thank you too.
That is Race Meyer. Make sure you go and check him out at Delaware Speedway in 2026. And of course, as I talked about, you're going to talk about somebody to watch in 2026. Well, this kid got an opportunity to race in the late models last year, and I think he's going to do it again. I think he liked racing the late models. I could be wrong, but Ollie Ferguson joins me, and every time I see him, he's got more and more facial hair, making me feel ancient. But Ollie, how's it going, my friend? How you doing tonight?
Oh, it's pretty good. How are you?
You know what, buddy? It's a Monday night. We're chatting racing and still digesting the Snowball Derby. And I don't know if you were able to catch it, but it ended a little bit funky. I really don't like races that end like that, especially when it's not my guy that wins. I'll be happy with that it was Nasi, but when are we going to see Ollie Ferguson in the Snowball Derby, huh?
Oh, I don't know. That's a big stretch for now. I mean, it's definitely a dream to do one day, and you have to have talent to do that. And so I don't know if there's any of that yet. So we're gonna take it at our own pace and just keep it on with the pro lates in Canada and see how it goes from there. But definitely a dream of mine to do one day, and I'll do anything I can and everything I can to do it. And with a bunch of great sponsors behind us, I'm sure we'll have the opportunity one day. And it all goes back to the talent part. If you have any talent, we'll
Well,
try it.
they must see something in you if they're sponsoring you still, right? I will say, Ollie, it was nice to get to see you back in the pro lates. I mean, we can talk about it. You went from OSS to pro lates, and I think we've kind of learned that that's not a small jump. That is massive, and the fields are completely different, and the cars are completely different. But needless to say, you really like your pro late model.
Yeah, it was a different experience for sure. I mean, to go from the learning year in OSS like 2023 to 2024 was a big jump. With everything we did to the car that year and all the upgrades, like suspension wise and setup wise, and actually having help at the track, that was a big jump itself. And then to go into this year from the OSS car, the Pro Late was just a whole nother experience. Like it's like driving across the whole world to get to a new series like this. And the cars are so much different and so much harder to adjust to, and it's such a fine line. Like I've had so many drivers come to me and say the difference between you qualifying pole and qualifying dead last is this much, and that's all you need. And it's just when you have like the kind of help that we had at the beginning of the year, it wasn't the greatest path that we had, and it kind of set us off to a rough start. And unfortunately, our half our year was kind of wasted with that. But once we got to McCall's and we got it set up right, it was a pretty decent car at the end of the year. And I mean, finishing fourth, 4 races in a row is nothing to complain about. And it's I myself, I'll be the first one to complain about the outside line at Peterborough. I know, it sucks, but you got to live with it, and there's nothing you can do about it. But it got hung on the restarts, and I mean, you'd have to drive back and forth in 25 laps, and it's not an easy thing to do, right? And I'm grateful to be doing it. I wouldn't want to be doing anything else as a 15-year-old. I mean, there's hockey, there's football, there's all that stuff. That there's nothing compares to racing, and it was a rough year for our team, and we're going to come back stronger next year. But it was definitely a fun learning experience in the late models.
Yeah, I definitely think that the one thing that we talked about before was you guys made a switch throughout the midway throughout the year. You went from Sunset, and you went to Peterborough, and I see that definitely I think has made a change, because now you're racing with, not saying that you weren't racing with a bunch of guys at Sunset, but there's a bit more that were at Peterborough on a regular basis. And one thing that we can say is the talent level. Wow, it's tough. You got Ryan Kimball, Dan McCaddy, who are the best of the best. Kelly Balson out there weekly. You kind of feel like it kind of seems like you're right there, following kind of those three, and that's pretty quick to move all the way up into that position. Where do you feel you need to be for next year, this upcoming season? Because, as we said, you have speed. That's evident. Is it the adjustment of learning Peterborough or of learning the car that you need to be better at?
So that's a really good question, and I feel like it's still a lot me that needs to be better. I mean,
Okay.
For me, it's hard to go back from 100 lappers to 25 lappers. That's a big adjustment for me. It's like running qualifying laps every lap, and it's kind of nice to not worry about burning the right rear off the car, because you can drive it as hard as you want and you'll be there at the end because it's 25 laps, right?
Yeah.
But I find our car, it was a good starting car, and we have plans over the off season to hopefully upgrade to something a little bit better, and that'll definitely exceed hopefully our expectations to be better. And I mean, it was pretty good towards the end of the year. I mean, there was one race where we hit it pretty good, and I think we were only a couple hundredths off Ryan Kimball, and I mean that's a huge accomplishment for us. And like to be nose to tail with Ryan Kimball in a heat race for me is just like, I've been watching these guys since I was a little kid coming to Peterborough Speedway, right? Like, I remember racing junior late models, and Dan McCaddy was there to test once, and I remember watching him going around the track like, holy cow, that is the coolest thing ever. The late models, how fast they are and whatever. And I just wanted to do that. And it was like a dream. It changed. Like, everyone wants to go to NASCAR. Everyone wants to go to NASCAR Canada. And I myself, that's my dream, and still my dream will be to go race a NASCAR Canada car one day. But it changed a little bit a couple of years ago when I saw Dan go around the track in a late model, and I just saw the thing slam down in the corner right on the ground, and it was just snapping around faster than any car you go out there, and it was just super cool. And to be racing with Dan McCaddy, Ryan Kimball, Kelly Balson, John Owen, Steve Powell, Corey, why am I blanking? Just a bunch of other great drivers, right? And James Horner. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, James Horner.
And just a bunch of great guys, and it's such an evenly matched field, and I find it's pretty clean too as well. And it's I had a ton of fun the last 4 races of the year, and Autumn Colors was pretty fun until it wasn't. I never liked going airborne in race cars, but it was overall a fun time at Peterborough, and we're gonna go back to Peterborough next year and run full time there, and then see what special events we can do here and there, like maybe the APC race at Peterborough, maybe one at Sauble, maybe the Cassidy.
You're pretty
race.
good there, so
I've had some past experiences.
Yeah.
I can see the surfboard still hanging on my wall from here. No one's ever going to take that away from me.
No.
That's my favorite trophy and always will be. That one was redemption from the junior late model when I wrecked there a couple of years before, and that's by far my favorite trophy and always will be.
You're underestimating what you did, Ollie. You didn't just wreck. You did it in style.
Yeah.
Right? You did it in style. You had bonus points for that one. But you know what? Yeah. You know, I'm so impressed, man. Every time I chat with you, I forget you're 15 years old, because, you know, you have such a presence about you, which is, you know, it's not easy. I remember when I met you and you first showed up for the OSS meeting when you were first joining, and you had no communication skills at all compared to what you have now. So, you know what? I'm proud of you, and I'm happy to see you continuing your journey. And, you know, like I said, to go and race with those veterans that you're going to race with next year is no easy feat, and hopefully you'll be able to steal a couple from them. I feel like those heat wins for sure already there. Donovan asks the question about questions is if Rob is ready to hang hang out with Donovan at Peterborough. I don't think Peterborough's ready for Rob and Donovan to be hanging out together. Let's just be honest.
No one's ready for that duo yet.
No one's ready for that.
You've seen Paul Boundy and Donovan Price. Wait till you see Rob Ferguson and Donovan
Yeah,
Price.
we add those together and we're in trouble. So, Ollie, best of luck this offseason and a happy holidays to you and your family.
Thank you very much. Happy holidays, buddy.
All right, that's Ollie Ferguson from Peterborough Speedway. He's confirmed that he's going to be there this season and somebody that we want to have on the show quite regularly. I'd like to hear from him and what he's got going on in the late model division out there, competing with some of the best in the province with Dan McCaddy, obviously Kelly Balson, Ryan Kimball, literally three names that are the legends of Peterborough Speedway. And then you add in the James Horner, Gary Hanna's, the John Owens, Steve Powell's. You're literally full of great competition out there. So speaking of great competition, we would have to have more and more names coming on here to chat with us. And one of those is Robin Yongen, who is from the Ontario Legend Car Series, former racer in his own, and a good racer in his own right. And he joins me now with it looks to be the Christmas tree in the background, which is just there better be a legend car on top of that Christmas tree.
There definitely is not a legend car or underneath that Christmas tree. I wish I could go back and do some legend car racing, maybe one day in the future, but I'm too busy doing what I'm doing now and enjoying most of it.
That was the good thing that I wanted to ask you. I was just about to say, are you enjoying it? And I would hope that after last season, you guys are. I feel you guys probably going to be really excited with how the season ended last year.
Oh, I'm blown away with the support that the Ontario Legends got last year. I think we had 17 full-time drivers last season, or at least 17 might have missed one, but we had a phenomenal turnout all season long. I think we had I don't know, there was like 20 drivers out of the top 25 that came to the banquet, which is pretty much unheard of these days. Like we just had our banquet there a couple Fridays ago, and we combined it with the bandos, and we had over like 110 people. So it worked out really well, and I can't say enough for all the people that really helped us out this year.
It's remarkable when you see the turnaround from just a couple of seasons ago, and then that's no shame in what we've talked about in the past, which is that, the counts and the appreciation for this division were a little bit worse off in the earlier 2020s. But now the perception is changing, and I think people are finally understanding this is a division to go to for not just cost saving, but also for some damn good racing and good competition.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I got into legend car racing around 2015 there, and it was already starting to build at that point. There was really nobody in our area here in Barrie that really did a whole lot of it. And it was on a building. Obviously, COVID took a beating on everybody, right? And so it just took us a little bit to get going again. And people do see the cost savings. And the nice part is, like we've talked about before, you want to run, Peterborough Speedway this Saturday, and then you want to go run Charlotte on Wednesday, you can do it. You know what I mean? And that's the driving force behind all this is the general rules across all of North America, all the world. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that's what is attracting people to this. They can go run Winter Nationals, the week before Daytona and get in 5 nights of racing there. They can run Spring Nationals in Nashville, I think it is this year. Yep. You can kind of go anywhere and everywhere. You want to go road racing, go road racing. You know what I mean? It's all the same car, different setups, stuff obviously like that. But that's the attraction for a lot of people. And I think with obviously like places like Sunset shutting down, and unfortunately, as of right now anyways, people are looking for that place to go. And they're like, well, geez, you know what? If hopefully no more tracks shut down, but at least this gives them the option of more tracks with one car, right?
Yeah.
So that's a big attraction for a lot of people these days. So it's good for us. The series was definitely going the right direction, and that's the support of all the drivers and people, and we're like a big family.
I think one of the things that you guys definitely need to be more appreciated for is that your young talent is coming up quite quickly. And that's not something we
Oh,
regularly see in divisions, is that the young talent adapts so quickly. I have to bring up Jake Spencer Walt finishing third in points in his
yep,
first full season
absolutely.
against Dawson Jeremy and Mitch Wright, who now the past two former champions.
Yeah.
You've got to be impressed with what you're seeing from him, Keaton Pipe, countless young names that are coming into this division.
Yeah, then we got like Freiberger and stuff like
Yeah.
that over in Saddle Beach, who's run a couple races with us. We have Camerath that
Camrath
runs
as
Saddle
well. Yeah,
Beach.
Cole.
He finished top 5 at Sunset from one of our
Yeah.
races.
Fourth place, I think,
Jake
is where he
is,
finished.
yeah, exactly. And Jake is another exception to that. Last year, not this past year, but the year before, he ran a couple races with us, and he was definitely like, you could see he was getting there.
Yeah.
But this year, he just came out of the gate, and good Lord, that kid ran phenomenal all year. And like I told him and his parents, they got a lot to be proud of, because that's some slugging against like a Mitch Wright, a Dremy, a Parker Trays. Gibson Baker's another good guy
That's another,
coming
yes.
up. Super good, talented kid. It comes from never really raced anything in his life other than bicycles. And he hops into a legend car. And you know what? There's another kid with tons of talent. You know what I mean? Gets in there and he's running fairly decent right away.
Yeah.
So
Chase Stephen Art as well, somebody else that Stephen Art didn't know anything about him. And all of a sudden he has that, I think it was a Sauble weekend. And he just out of nowhere was just up front. And that's just, you want to see it. Even a kid like Nathan Huffman, who he had a rough year. He had a very rough year, but you know what? He showed up every week, even
Absolutely.
after he may have spun 3 times in a race, and he never gave up. And that's the thing that you've got to love. It's so commendable that these guys, they can do that.
Yeah. And one thing about Nathan, I want to say, he started off the season super rough, lots of spins, lots of stuff like that. And I gave him a hard time a lot of nights.
Yeah.
But he really started to come around at the end of the year there. And unfortunately, when he started to come around and get better, bad luck just started happening to him.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? I think he's going to regroup this winter. And you know what? It's all seat time. If he can get out, he mentioned maybe running down in Atlanta once or something like that. And if he can get just a couple more races underneath him, he'll get better and better. And there's another kid that he had one previous, I believe it's a 4-cylinder start before running a legend car.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? He's come a long ways too. So
it's one of those things that we can look forward to, because I think the veterans, you have your Adam Cuthbertsons, the Wes Cuthbertsons, Cole McFadden, you have those guys. What did we notice about that this year? Very unlikely to win, because all these young names they're the ones that are coming in, they're taking the wins. And I think these veterans are going to go, no, we want to take our wins back.
I was going to say, you know what, I those veterans have been around for a while, and they know how to get it done. And that's the thing. I think Adam, he didn't even run a full season with us.
No,
and
he
came
did
out
not.
mid-year, and he picked up a feature win. I'm waiting for his brother. Wes has been one of those guys. He's been fast every year. He's been doing it for a long time, and he just can't nick that feature win. And I know it's coming. It's coming for him.
It feels like everybody's starting to release schedules, and I know there was a little bit of tease put out there. So do we know when the Legend Car schedule is going to come out?
Yeah, we're pretty close. I think, to be honest with you, we're really close on the full schedule. We just got one date. We've been kind of back and forth between Peterborough and Sauble, just trying to get them to commit to one or the other. We're definitely starting our season May 16th at Peterborough.
Okay.
And again, I spoke with Blake tonight on the phone, and we'll definitely have our 4 races in conjunction with the Great Lakes Legends. And those will be the August long weekend at Sauble Beach. So that'll be August 1st and 2nd. Then we got Labor Day weekend at Full Throttle. We'll be there the Saturday, and we'll be helping them out. And again, Oktoberfest at Flamborough. We didn't make it out to Flamborough last year, but we'll be back there again this year to race there with them. So those are kind of the small. I'll give you a little more. So, and apparently my dog's saying no way. Don't tell them nothing. It looks like we're probably going to be at Sauble Beach 4 times.
Wow.
And so it'll be 3 trips out there. I'm just going to hint this. We'll probably be early in the year, late in the year, and right in the middle. And then obviously we're back with full throttle and Flamborough. And we'll be at Peterborough 7 times, just like we were last year. So we cut back a couple races, but that's because of obvious reasons with Sunset now being gone, which is it is what it is, and we move on from it, and hopefully whatever happens in the future, they can come back or whatever, because it definitely puts a big dent geographically into our racing area, right? So they're kind of right in the middle, and we're good for a lot of sponsorships for us and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's a difficult point. Like you said, nothing's been demolished. So until it's demolished, it's still there. So that's all we can. That's all we can say right
100%.
now. And for those that think that they're in the know, you're not unless you own it. So don't go out there saying
100%.
Don't go out there saying certain things that may or may not be true, because all it does is rile people up, and then they send me messages freaking out, and I don't know the answer, so leave me alone. But
yeah, exactly. None of us, exactly you said, none of us know the answer except for the people that own it.
Exactly. So Robin, one thing that you're looking forward to the most this year, obviously you guys have had a lot of momentum. I thought for last year, getting to see Mitch and Dawson run down south, getting to see obviously Josh Davenport and Ava Boundy for the Bando side of things go down there, and Josh even winning down there. Obviously Mitch wins as well when he wins in everything, but you guys have got to feel like things are flying forward. They're on the right track. So what's one thing that we can look forward to with the Ontario Legend Car Series in 2026?
Wow. You know what? I think it's going to be another barn burner of a year. I think it's going to be really good. As you never know till opening night, but I think the car count is going to be good again. You know, again, you just don't know till you get there. You hear rumors, you hear that. And I hear of a few new people coming along, and we had a couple people. Well, one person retired, but we haven't really had many people leaving. The series or Legend Cars. So we had Paul. He retired, and quick little announcement on that. We've hired Paul on. Paul Pierce is going to be our, I guess you want to call it tech inspector for next year, full time. So that's going to take a lot of heat off me to do more of the race directing and stuff like that, and not have to worry about, teching cars and stuff like that. And we're back with helping with the bandos again, try to get that program up and rolling even more than it was last year. And a guy like Josh Davenport coming in, it's big for that series too. And like you said, the Ava Bounties, Seller boys, stuff like that. Like it's a good bunch there too. And we're tagging them along for most of our races.
Good.
And so it's cool. It's cool to watch those kids progress also with the Legends. And the hope always is that those kids progress into a Legend car.
Yep. I think a ladder system is what you want to see.
Absolutely.
And frankly, as we talked about, man, it is Tim Terry is one of those guys out there that he knows Legend cars and he knows Bandoleros. That's his bread and butter. He's out there in the Maritimes. They have it out there. They have it out west. They have it in England. They have it in Charlotte. They have it everywhere. So you can go wherever the hell you want to go and race. You can find a place that has Legend cars, that has Bandoleros. Bandoleros might be a little bit harder in some places, but for the most part, Legend cars are the way to go. Now, if somebody wants to get involved in Legend cars as a partner or as a competitor, what is the best way for them to go about doing that?
You know what? From our side of it, just contact me directly, Robin Young, on Facebook, or we have Ontario Legend Car Series at hotmail.com. Just send me an email. Get in touch with me. I'll get you to go in the right direction. Either sponsor, want to race with us, or whatever. Or you have any questions about any of it, just send me a message, and I'll get you going the right direction to become a part of it.
Well, we're looking forward to it. I love this series with all my heart. It is so much fun on a weekly basis, and hopefully we get to have another barn burner, like you said, all season long, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. Robin Youngin from the Ontario Legend Car Series here on ONTrack Weekly. Happy holidays for you, Robin, and the best as we head into the new year.
Thanks. Have a good one.
That is Robin Youngin from the Ontario Legend Car Series. I've been your host, Cam K here tonight on ONTrack Weekly. Went a little bit past our time, but I appreciate each and every one of our guests: Steve McCaw, Kyle Johnson, Kendra Adams, Race Meyer, Ollie Ferguson, and of course Robin. Only a couple more episodes to go before the end of the year. I want to thank you all for tuning into GeForce TV tonight, and we'll talk to you all next week.